Okay, this is just going to be a little video, or little, but just wanted to get some video stuff of adventuring in EverQuest, old world content with my group. So yeah, this is going to be Trakanon, who is a big bad guy in Kunark. He's a big dragon. And my boxes got stuck in the water tunnel here in Sebelis, so sometimes they get stuck. This was one of those times, but there's actually an auto follow trick here that allows you to get upstairs fairly easily, but yeah, they got stuck in the tube. But let's see here, if all goes well. My guys are here. They are. Neat. Alright, so first thing, I'm not really going to clear these frogs, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm switching to AoE swords on my Shadow Knight and on my Ranger. I'm doing this with the 4-box. So my composition right now is Shadow Knight, Cleric, Ranger, and Bard. So I'll show you how I do it. You don't need 4, you can do this. You can probably duo. I can probably just kill Trakanon with my Shadow Knight and Cleric, to be honest. He's fairly easy. Also, this is a little trick to auto with boxing. So if you want to just know a little trick, you walk past the mob and turn around, and then all your boxes are in melee range. So it's hard to get the camera angles here, but you can see all my low boxes are in melee range. I'm clearing the banish point right now, so you can see again. Back up a bit. Alright, so now my Ranger is hitting. Alright, so if you're not familiar with this, if you're looking at Brewall's map here, this is the banish point. So Trakanon has a banish ability. So if you fight him in his lair, which is all the way over here on the map, he banishes to here. So the trick is to pull him to the banish place. I'm going to actually shrink my guys because it's just good etiquette to be shrunk. Alright, so now we're shrunk. I'm not going to worry about double shrinking, but I'm clearing the path right now. I am in a DZ. I'll check to see if he's up in open world, and I might make an open world video as well. It's not necessarily different, but you just have to be faster if you're doing this in open world, because there's respawns. So anyways, yeah, I'm clearing now. I've just loaded up AoEs on my Cleric, and I'm running AoE songs on my Bard, and I have AoE swords on my Ranger and my Shadow Knight, so it's pretty useful. And yes, I'm clearing the path, so this is get some decent plat and some items and gems and spells that you can vendor, so it's not terrible. And yeah, you do want to clear this pathway. And then once we are ready to pull Trakanon, I will show you how it's done. If you don't know, it could be useful if you're boxing or playing with friends, trying to kill Track. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do, or here's what I do rather. So I'm getting my characters just set up over here, and I'm gonna pull all the jugs. I'm going to pull all the jugs over, and I'm just gonna load my spells for Track. Basically, only really care about fire dots, since he will resist almost everything else. Alright, so just running through, getting the juggernauts. And you can see the little green, there is Trakanon. Not going to worry about him yet. Just clearing the path a bit. And open the door. Ranger. And here we go. So these jugs should be coming down here. I'm going to clear them. Alright, so here we go, just AoEing. So if you didn't know, also I guess I should clarify, this is on Agnar, so it's Planes of Power era. Agnar has Eldon open, but in this era, clerics have 3 AoEs that you can cycle. So it's pretty decent for like old world content like this that you have to clear a lot of trash. You've got the Silent Command, which is an AoE nuke / stun. You've got Catastrophe, which is your high level one, and then you have also the Unspoken Word. And they're all on different cooldowns, so you can keep them up on your bar at the same time. I like to do that. Alright, so we're almost done. Once we're done, I'm also going to shift the songs on my bar. I'm going to play, there's a specific set of songs that I will play for Trakanon. The important note about Track is that he gates, or he can gate, and so it's important to get a mana drain on him. Bards have a good one. Urvaj lost composition, so I run that. And I run the mana drain, a fire dot, and then I'll run War Song and Call of the Muse. I personally tend not to run Psalm of Vishan, which is spell resist. Mostly because my characters are geared. So the dots and life tap, the poison dot and the life tap don't really land on me anyways. Like you can see, without any resist buffs, my Shadow Knight is maxed disease, almost maxed magic, almost maxed poison. So, you know, I don't really need the resists. I prefer to go for the DPS. Okay, so here's, again, we're back to the banish spot. And I'm just setting up my guys for the pull. I also have a Vexthal Mace, and the Dark Mace of Thought, which is a mana drain. You don't need to use that. It's not super important. I've got it, so why not? Alright, so now I'm going to show you how to pull. I had some pathing mushrooms, so that's kind of annoying. But I don't care about them. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to pull Track. Oh my god, I forgot a jug too. That's annoying. And I forgot another one. Alright, well, that's fine. I'm just gonna... Alright. I messed up. But it doesn't really matter. and I'll show you why it doesn't matter. So I'm just gonna try to clear this mushroom because I don't want 50 mobs. But anyways, yeah, so my aggro is clear. Alright, so here's how this works. Alright, so Trakanon has aggroed me. And here's what we're going to do. So you'll notice he's going to come down here, and he gets stuck on this ledge, so the way to do it is to sit. If you sit down, then he comes running, and what's going to happen here is shortly he is going to banish me, and when he banishes me, I'm going to cast a heal on myself with my cleric. Alright, so I've been banished here. Now I'm going to cast a heal on myself with my cleric, and now my cleric has aggro, so if you see Trakanon here, you can see now he's targeting Cyrex, who is my cleric. I'm sitting down on my cleric, so now Trakanon will just run straight to where I'm at. And the Juggernauts are most likely going to leash, so I get him solo. And here is the bad guy. And he's trying to kill my cleric, but I have a good ability called Divine Arbitration. It's pretty broken. And here we go. So now we're just going to kill Trakanon. So I got hit with the blind. It doesn't really matter, to be honest. Again, this stuff is this stuff is crazy trivial at this point. So I don't really care if I can see him or not. I probably won't even really need to heal myself very much. But anyways, the important part of this is just kind of showing how the pull is done. Hopefully you guys thought that was useful and interesting. It's pretty cool, especially in a DZ. You can do Trakanon very easily with this method. And you don't even need to be a class like, you don't need to be a Shadow Knight or a Monk or a Bard or some class that can drop aggro to do this pull. Because of the method of how this works, you basically get a single pull almost every time. So literally, like, anybody can do this pull, which is very cool. The only thing to note is that sometimes the mobs will come, and it's, again, like, it happens occasionally, and at this gear level, it doesn't matter if I had 10 ads, it wouldn't really impact me very much. But if you're not as geared, it might. So that's really the only thing where it would be important to have a class that can drop aggro. If the mobs show up, or if they don't leash back, you could be in a little bit of trouble. Another thing to note about this fight, like, again, I'm dealing with my characters are basically best in slot. So again, this is like, it's very trivial for me. Even like my characters actually got hit with a dot. Like, if I was running the resist song, I would be fine. But again, it doesn't really matter to me. But if you were doing this without super geared characters and you wanted to be a little more careful, you'd want to do magic resist as well as poison resist. He does cast a pretty nasty poison dot. Again, like, if you're not geared, the dot can be pretty nasty. And the life tap makes it pretty difficult. And the reason you want magic resist is that allows you to resist his life taps. He casts like a 1500 damage life tap. So if he actually gets those off successfully, it's kind of a bitch to kill him if he is healing himself constantly. But again, because my resists are pretty high, I don't really need the resist buffs, and he's not landing life taps, so he dies like very easily. But if I was doing this, or like when I was killing him earlier before I geared my characters up, you'd make sure, oh my god, he dropped literally the most useless item of all time. It really sucks. Well, that's unfortunate. So this was a bit of a wash. Anyhow, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll do some more old world content stuff as time goes on. So yeah, thank you guys for watching the video. EverQuest is a fun old game. I like to play it from time to time, and see you all later.